Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Tea&Art. I hope you all are well. So let's start today's video. So I have used this mold previously, but that was a simple demonstration of the mold. Today I will be doing something different with this. So this mold is by Molds and Shape. This is their Halloween collection. What I'm doing here is that I am using UV resin in this mold. I am actually making leaves. So these are actually a part of this. Later on I'm going to use this, so I'm just showing you that I'm going to make the leaves, then I'm going to cure it under the UV light. And after that I'm making a second batch, and on the second batch I will be using some chameleon flakes and I'm going to put them into the leaves, and then I will cure them. After pouring the UV resin I'm going to cure them, so I will be making two batches of these leaves, and then later on I will select which I'm going to use into the mold. And now what I'm doing here is that I am using some chameleon flakes onto the cured leaves, and after that I will be putting them once more under the UV light so they cure properly. So the leaves are done now. Now on to the actual technique, and actually I have tried this technique before once with coasters. When you apply the acrylic paint direct onto the mold, it creates such a beautiful lacy effect. So with this I'm going to create something a bit textured here. So little by little I'm going to apply the black paint onto the witch's head, then onto the witch's dress, and then the black cat. So as soon as I apply the acrylic paint, it creates some small gaps and create that lacy effect. So in my previous, I will link the video with the previous design. That was a very simple resin. I just poured black resin and that's it. It was simple, but it was beautiful. But this one I'm going a bit step ahead. So that's the reason I'm using the acrylic paint. And this is actually is going to be a painting session here. I'm going to use few colors in between. So I'm going to use a black acrylic paint, then I'm going to use a white acrylic paint, then I'm going to use orange mica powder. And like this I will be applying layers, and I will be using heat gun to dry my layer one by one, but this will create a very beautiful effect. So it is very good for creating a lot of different sort of texture art. So that's what I will be doing here as I explained you. So here I just sped up the process, and what I'm doing here is that I have used acrylic paint onto the dress, and you can see there is a few gaps in here, and I will be using the white acrylic paint and then the orange mica. So here I'm putting the orange mica. So as this is going to be a Halloween autumn witch shield, so that's the reason I'm going to use the orange color. Is that I'm creating a sort of a scene here where the witch is going it's a Halloween season, so yeah, so in between the pumpkins, so there you will see I will be adding a lot of things to this. At the moment I'm just doing the painting. I am really not good in painting, but I am still giving it a go. We will see. I hope, fingers crossed, that it turns out to be as I am imagining it. So after all the drawing, this is a paper that I have from scrapbooking. So I have few of them. So I selected these. Now I am really not sure how this is going to be creating a scene that I really want here. So I just cut the paper and then I burned the edges. As you can see, the edges are black. So this is what I did here with this paper. So these were two papers. I'm combining them. So this is just, I'm going freehand and just working with my mind. I really don't know the result. Nothing at all. I'm here just checking that if it fits, then after that I will be pouring a clear resin and then I will be putting these paper into the resin. So here I'm pouring the resin. So this is going to be not a very thick layer, this is just a very thin layer, but I'm going to cover the whole of the shield, and then with the help of a heat gun I'm just going to remove there if there are any bubbles. And it's time to add the paper. Now my only fear was that if they're going to disappear into the resin, because these papers are not, I haven't treated them with anything, I haven't laminated them. So when you put a paper into the resin, it totally get transparent. So we will see what it's going to look like. This is some more prepare work. I'm just removing if there are any bubbles with my torch and then with my heat gun. And now I'm going to add the papers. The reason I burned the edges was that I don't want that sharp line in between. So that's the reason I wanted to give, yeah, I wanted them to be able to be just creating a mix effect. So first one is in there. And time to put the second one now. So at this moment, the paper is a bit on the transparent side, the translucent side. We will see how this turns out. And now on to the next step. And the next step is that the leaves that I have made, I'm going to arrange them freehand. So I am not going to overfill them with leaves, just leaf on one side and then on to the next step. And when the first layer is cured, I added a little bit of leaves on the other side also. Later on decided that now I'm going to do the backing, and for my backing I am using the black resin onto the edges, and into the center I will be adding a little bit of, you can see, a hint of white color into the resin and then a little bit of iridescent glitter. That's what I will be doing for the back. After that, I will leave this to cure and I will see you next day. So this is the next day, moment of truth. I'm going to demold this and we will see how this turns out. So here we go. It is out of the mold and I can't believe it turned out to be so lovely. I'm just going to show you the paper in the bag has that effect that it is not overpowering the witch, and the fabric on the witch, the dress it created, the acrylic color that I used, everything turned out to be really lovely. And then there is a moon on the side. I'm going to use my Pinata Brass alcohol ink and then I will be coloring that moon into the golden color. You can use a golden foil into the mold also, but I prefer to do this way. I will leave this to dry and on to the next step. And this is the next step. I am going to add some crystals. So I'm going to mix my 2-part epoxy sculpt. So these are the 2-part, you take it equally, and I'm going to just mix them. And this is how it's looking like. It turned into a black clay. So this clay is as hard as a stone, and it is a waterproof clay, and it is also air dry clay. I use this clay for making jewelry items also. So here I will be using some pyrite and then some amethyst crystals, and I will be applying this onto the shield here. Accordingly, not going to overdo it, but still I'm going to add some quartz, amethyst, and the pyrite. So my crystals are done now. It is the final step, and we will see the final look. So this is the final look of this shield. I am so loving it. It is perfect for that Halloween, and but for the witches it is perfect for all year round. I added a hook on the top so you can hang it also, or you can put them onto the display with your crystals. But I just love the variety of things you can do with this mold. I really love the molds that molds and shapes have created this time. Their spell bottle mold, and then this shield, and there are many more molds on their website. So that's it for today, and I hope you liked today's video, and if you did, please do let me know in comments, and I will link everything in my description. So like, subscribe, and share. Thumbs up if you like the video, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider do so, and take good care of yourself. Bye bye.